Apple and Google say that your phone can be tracked even when it's offline. And here we thought that your phone was really off when you switched it off. Look, we all know about the Find My Device type of system that both Apple and Android have. You want to find your iPhone, you go to iCloud.com/find, you log in, and you can see your device and its location. For Android, you simply Google Find My Android, click on the link, you log in, and there is your phone and its location. Both systems are pretty similar. They can tell you the location of your device, but they can do things like play a sound. So if you lost your phone somewhere around the house, you'll hear it ring. Both systems allow you to lock your phone and even erase it if you see that you're never going to get it back because you left it on a park bench in another city somewhere. Really nice features to have. But what Apple and Google are telling us is that even when your phone is offline, you can still find it. And it sounds fantastic. And we know that phones get stolen every single day, and this trend is definitely on the rise. And the first thing that the thieves do is they switch off your phone. But that means, according to what Apple and Google are saying, is that we can still track it. Look, I want to believe that this is true, but I don't like taking things at face value or the marketing. So today, I've got an Apple phone and I've got an Android phone, and we are going to test it and find out together if this really works. So, let's head on out. Right, as you can see, we're in our first location. Apple phone is on, Android phone is on. On my laptop here, I have got the tracking that's on, and on both Apple and Android, it has picked up the new location, so it's working like it's supposed to be. What we're going to do now is I want to put both these phones in airplane mode, disconnecting them from any Wi-Fi and disconnecting them from the cellular provider. We're then going to head out to another location. Both these phones will be in airplane mode the entire time. Fire up the laptop again and see if it updates the location to the new position. So let's see what happens. Location number 2, just got some yummy lunch from Chick-fil-A over there, filling up some gas in the car, and let's go to the laptop and see if it updated the location. Now remember, both phones were in aeroplane mode. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to keep it a surprise till the end. Next test, I'm going to switch the phones off completely. So there's my Android phone being shut down, and now let's do the same with the iPhone, and let's switch that one off. And then we're going to carry on to the next location and continue with this road test. Okay, location number 2. Now, to give this test the fairest chance of actually working, I have to be surrounded by people. So Chick-fil-A was pretty full when we got some lunch. I'm now at a shopping mall, as you can see, and of course I'm getting some coffee because, of course. And then let's take it up a notch. I've got Ella with the phones in her back pocket, wandering around the Apple store. And again, you'll see why that part is important. So both phones are still off. There's the iPhone, definitely off. And let's check the Android phone. Yep, definitely still off. Let's see if it updated the location. Let's go see the results. And I've got to tell you, it was pretty surprising. Let's start with that first location where the phone was in airplane mode. Did that work? Nope. This is the Apple phone. That's the Android phone. Still old locations. So that kind of failed. It was still showing the location before we went offline. And then we hit the mall with the phone actually off. Did it update then? Also not. This is the Apple phone and this is the Android phone. Still did not budge. I'm not sure what the right technical term for this, but for me, I call it an epic fail. I mean, if you read both Apple and Google's websites, this was textbook. It was supposed to work. According to both their websites, your phone uses something called BLE, Bluetooth Low Energy. It scans for other devices that are part of the network. It's supposed to share its location in an encrypted way with those other devices who are in the network, and then those devices relay your location information, which then updates the maps. And that is why in every place I went, I made sure to go where there were lots of other people. And in all cases, the location was simply not updated. This should have worked. So, why didn't it? Some might say that the Bluetooth range is very short, and so someone has to be really close for this to work. Fair, but in the Apple Store, as an example, the phone was really close to lots of devices that were in the Apple Store. So you would think that at least the Apple side would have actually updated, but it didn't. And if anybody's ever been to a busy Starbucks, you know that you're waiting for a while in very close proximity to other people waiting for their skinny latte with no phone. So plenty of opportunities for really close Bluetooth interaction. Another reason that this could have failed is maybe because not everybody is part of the Find My network or Find Hub enabled on their phones. So they're not part of the network, which means that even if they were really close, their device would simply not relay the information. And again, that's true, but this is surprising since both Apple and Google turn on these by default. Most people don't even know that their phone is participating in the network. Ella was literally inside the Apple store, and we know the amount of thefts are happening at Apple stores. I've got to assume that those devices are part of that network. And of course, not to mention all the employees having their own personal devices. Anyways, maybe another reason it didn't work because it was too quick. There wasn't enough time passed from the time it went offline to the time that the website updated. I thought about that too. So not only were we there in the mall for hours, which frankly is not my favorite place, but I also tried this test multiple times over a couple of days, and in all cases, same results. I even marked the phones as lost, thinking maybe that would force it somehow. It made no difference. I will say that when both devices are on, tracking works perfectly for both Google and Apple, and you're able to track it just like your cell phone provider tracks you. I mean, their entire business model is literally built on tracking everything and everyone all of the time, keeping your data for years to build complete profiles about you. Who you meet, where you go, who you hang out with, your family, your friends, and your entire life's patterns are mapped out. And that is why I use Cape, who is the privacy-focused mobile carrier I keep telling you about and are also today's sponsor. They don't track you and they don't sell your data because they simply don't collect it like everybody else does. I saw this for myself when I went into their offices. When you sign up for Cape, you don't have to give any personal information. You don't have to show your documentation, your government IDs, give your mother's maiden name, show proof of your home address, or any of that other nonsense. Cape has their own core network that they own. They don't rent it from another provider. This is critical because it is built with privacy in mind. At best, they know which tower you're connected to, and that is a massive radius that could be miles, and they cannot triangulate your position like others can and do. I showed you all of that when I walked into their office and surprised their CEO with a bunch of questions, and I interrogated the poor guy. I'm going to link to that video and to Cape's site in the description so you can check it out in case you missed that. But if you care about your privacy, you really should. To me, it's always funny how the people who don't trust Cape because it's some sort of FBI honeypot continue to use their current provider who actively sells your data. And now, let's add to that we have Apple and Google literally telling us that they're using BLE to track your phone when it's off. Look at some settings. So on your Android phone, you go to Settings, type there Find, and then click on Find Hub. Then see mine is on, click on Find Hub again, and then you have an option to allow this device to be located. You can disable that. Now, if you are going to enable that, you get a couple of options that we should talk about. The first one is remote lock, which is the ability to remotely lock your phone. You want to make sure that that is on. And then the other option is find your online devices. Click on that. Basically, these are a bunch of options that allow you to participate in the network. So if somebody else loses their device around you, like in this experiment, which should have worked, you can enable and have a bunch of options to choose from. Choose the option that's best for you. And to be very clear, your personal information or their information is never ever shared. So let's just keep it at the back of your mind. All right, let's go through the same settings with an Apple phone and see what options they've got. So on your Apple device, settings, type there Find and click on Find My. And then click on Find My Phone. And there, Find My Network. Participating in this allows your device to be found when it doesn't have cellular or when it doesn't have Wi-Fi and when it's offline. Hence, this should have worked. Just remember, if you are going to opt out of those systems, if you do lose your phone, basically, you won't be able to track it. So the smart move is to get Cape, and then if you don't want to be tracked at any point, use a Faraday bag like I showed you in this video right here. And check out what I got up to in the Cape offices as well. Give the video a quick thumbs up before you head out, and I'll see you in these videos. Let's go.